You open this door with the key of reason. Beyond it is another dimension, a dimension of truth, a dimension of freedom, a dimension of joy. You're moving into the land of both the ideal and the real, of the possible and the actual. You've just crossed over into the Capitalist Corner.
Where reason meets reality, welcome to the Capitalist Corner.
Welcome to the post-Thanksgiving episode of the Capitalist Corner. I'm very happy to have all of you here. As you can see, I am all by my lonesome, but hopefully I can put on a good show for everybody today. First off, happy birthday, Katie. It is Katie Ellis's birthday, so if everybody can wish her a happy birthday, that would be wonderful. I think Persephone's there saying happy birthday in the below. I'm not really in a great mood. Kind of sad. I guess I'll explain it. Why not? And then of course, it's Open Question Friday, so ask whatever you want. Today is the 3-year anniversary from when I was released from prison. And 3 years is not a very long time. But while in prison, I cultivated a very good friendship with the radio talk show host Todd Feinberg. I started my relationship with my girlfriend, Melissa. And I just remember getting out, that day, and I was wearing my sweatpants and sweatshirt, and Subby was driving me, and Todd called, and I was talking to Todd on the phone, and Melissa lived right down the street from the prison. So we stopped by and I saw her, and she was so happy that I was out, and I met her son, Vinny, for the first time that day. And that was wonderful. And, shortly thereafter, I think it was that Friday, maybe the next day. Was it the next day? I think it was. Todd and his wife took Melissa and me out for a great dinner. It was a really, really fun time. And it wasn't the first time they took us out. And it just occurred to me this morning that, when I got out of prison, I didn't know Mark. I didn't know Jim Valiant. I didn't know Rozzy, for instance. Most of the people that are in my life today, I didn't know. And what I had coming out was a support system, and Todd and Melissa were, very integral parts of that support system. And, Melissa died, and then Todd got encephalitis and lost his memory. And so it's like, no, there's no bad news about Todd other than, the encephalitis, but it's just that the two of the people that were the strongest part of my support system are just not there anymore. And, it's a reminder to me how life is, because I never anticipated that, the way that I thought my life was going to go. I thought Todd would get me a job at WTIC. I would end up hosting a radio show there. And I figured, I would be with Melissa. And you just don't know what curveballs life, will throw at you. And it's just, I don't know, just something about the 3rd year anniversary. It just kind of really is sticking to me today, really, really hard. And, in the meantime, I developed a very close friendship with Diana, and Diana was a wonderful friend to me. She taught me how to drive so that I could, get my driver's license, and I would hang out with Diana every Tuesday and Friday. And Melissa knew, and Melissa was fine with it because Diana was so sweet, and Melissa trusted me because I was, completely honest with her. And now, I have a very different life, and Diana's my girlfriend, and I love her very, very much. And it's just an odd thing to think that at that, getting out of prison and initially I had my girlfriend, I had this friend in Todd Feinberg, I had this friend in Diana, and life just has a way of just coming at you, and you can't prepare for it. You don't know what's going to happen. And it's just as hitting me a little hard today. I'll be all right. I always am. I always do, what I need to do. And I'll do it, but it's just something that it's saddening me is all, today. So, that's my story. That's why I feel a little down. I will snap out of this. I need to ask Jim Valiant. Jim Valiant, at 11 o'clock your time, are you ready to record for Sense, Perception, and Volition? You can answer that question. Oh, as some reminders, the show is no way affiliated with the American Capitalist Party, although I am the vice chairman of the American Capitalist Party. And Mark, of course, is the chairman, although he's not here today. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe from YouTube to your favorite social media sites. You can knock that out. Oh, Jim, and then we are there. 11 o'clock your time will be recorded. Remember to do that. And also remember, we've got super chats. I know it's been a bit of a bummer so far today, but we're going to try to turn that around and earn those super chats. So if the spirit strikes you, feel free to, I don't know, is it donate? I don't think it's donate. Is it donation, Persephone? Persephone says yes. So we're going to go with donation. And by the way, my life is pretty wonderful. I have a wonderful girlfriend in Diana whom I love very much. I have great friends like the wonderful Jim Valiant, a great audience like you two, like all of you. So there's not just two people in the audience. There's plenty of people in the audience. So that's great. So, let's see if we can't have big announcement. Big announcement for everybody. At the Irreplaceable Spark thrown by the inimitable and irreplaceable Razi Ginsburg, I am the first announced speaker. You can check it out. It's on my Facebook page. I'm sure more more announcements will be coming, but I'm the first announced speaker. I cannot wait. It's in Texas. Oh, it's a bribe. Thank you, Jenna Kleem. What is the bribe? What must I do? But I really hope that some of you can make it to Texas. It'll be my first time in Texas, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait to go. You can go there. Diana will be there. I will be there. It's going to be absolutely freaking wonderful. I cannot wait to do it. So let's see. We have no questions. I don't know what the bribe is for. So let me see if I can't find a story to talk about since there's no questions here. I got to plug back in the phone. The phone is not my friend here with the stupid little cord or whatever. I watched the movie Red Dragon the other day. Anybody ever see the Red Dragon? It's like the first in the Hannibal Lecter series. Hannibal Lecter, what a character. Mercury is in Gatorade. I wish I had Gatorade. I didn't eat lunch today, so I'm a little hungry too. What the hell was I going to say? Who the hell knows? All right. Let's see what we got for stories. Here, boom, boom. Oh, wow. We got a lot of good stuff here. So Donald Trump, Manhunter instead of Red Dragon. Okay, I will watch Manhunter. Donald Trump was asked if he would attend, which is the third movie? Ian, I don't know what the third movie is. I've seen Silence of the Lambs, I've seen Hannibal, and now I've seen Red Dragon. Okay, so Donald Trump, if you know, there's this shooting of the National Guard's servicemen or servicewomen in this case in Washington, D.C., and Donald Trump was asked if he would be attending the funeral of Sarah Beckstrom, the woman that was killed. And Donald Trump responded. He says, it's certainly something I can conceive of. I won West Virginia by one of the biggest margins of any president anywhere. Somehow, Donald Trump asked if he would attend a funeral, turns it into about how big he won the state. That is demented. Like, that is seriously something wrong with somebody that does that thinks that way. It's like when they asked him about Charlie Kirk and he brought up the ballroom that he was building. The man is got really something wrong upstairs. Not fit for leadership, not fit to be the president, not fit to be a friend, not really fit for much, but yet he has legions of followers. I don't really know what to say about that. It's really depressing. Yeah, he can never talk about someone else without slapping his own ass. Man Sharma has a new handle. Why do you have a new handle? And why is it called Handle Your Candle? You're always into some weird stuff, dude. Like last time it was the porn. Now it's Handle Your Candle. Like, come on. Let's just get ourselves together. Let's put everything in perspective. It's your personal one, your personal candle. Is that what it is? Are you talking about handling your personal candle? All right, whatever. If that's what you're into, dude. I mean, you're in India. I don't know if that's, maybe in India you guys do that. You talk about it amongst each other. You go online. You got your own podcast now. You're in all kinds of chat rooms. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. I hope Liquid Zulu doesn't find out. He's Scottish. Maybe they do the same thing. What the hell do I know? You're all young. So there's that. So, Kash Patel did an interview with the Epoch Times where he's talking about, I guess they're putting all these bans on the materials that are used to make fentanyl. And, they're banning them from coming in from China. China is, working with them. And Kash Patel says they're scrambling now. The drug dealers, they're all panicking. They're trying to find a way to make it. Here's a clue. They won't find one. Are you that dumb, Kash? Do you really think that you and your orange boss have found the silver bullet to stop people from getting high? Please tell me that that's not the case. And I think he's one of your countrymen, maybe. The drugs keep winning and they will continue to win. The iron law of prohibition. When you prohibit something, they will find a more toxic, a more potent version because they have to find smaller and smaller ways to get it into the country. This will not be any different. You are not going to win the war on drugs. I don't care how many boats you bomb. I don't care how many countries you invade. If MFers want to get high, they are going to get high. That's all there is to it. So you can do whatever you want. You can try whatever you want, but it's not going to stop. Okay, I like numbers. The tiniest amount does not kill people. You're buying propaganda. It's also not true that you can just be in the room with fentanyl and die from it, or just touch it and die from it. There's many, many people that use fentanyl recreationally. Now, it can kill you, of course. It's a dangerous substance. I don't know what you mean by a real drug. It's manufactured. There's a lot of manufactured drugs. Still a real drug, still gets people high. People still want it. The Proof Lady says Epoch Times is a fake newspaper owned by Falun Gong to promote the U.S. government to not look into the cult's abuses, including SA and homicide. I don't know what SA is. Yes, Ian Gilmore points out oftentimes people don't know it's in the drugs that they're taking, and so it kills them. If legal by the sexual assault, that's what SA means. If legal, by the way, everybody's telling me sexual assault now. No, handle your candle. There's no joking about sexual assault. I don't know. It's weird that you would even think that, but you're a weird guy. I've talked to you in private. Maybe I won't be talking to you so much in private anymore. I hope when we do our Zoom meetings that we do, you're not handling your candle. Let me just put it out there. There's that guy, I don't remember his name, who got caught on Zoom doing that kind of weird thing to do. But whatever, whatever floats your candle. I don't know. Here it is. Are you saying here is your candle? Okay. But anyways, so they're not going to win the war on drugs. That's all there is to that. What about, okay, this is interesting. Veronica de Rugi, I don't know how to pronounce her name, but for Reason Magazine, and she talks about how many people talk about how the Constitution has not held up. And I'm one of those people. And I guess, Jim Valiant once told me that the economist Robert Hessen told him, you always have to ask compared to what? And so, it's, Jeffrey Toobin. Yeah, he was handling his candle. The invisible highlighter pointed that out. But anyways, and I guess that in one sense, the Constitution hasn't held up, right? It hasn't held the government within the bounds intended by the people who drafted and ratified the Constitution. That is absolutely true. But it's also true that we do still reference it. We do still have free speech. We are a relatively free country. So in many ways, it has held up. And so I think that's I don't think Kant had anything to do with the Constitution, but whatever. Or maybe Kant made sure you're handling your candle. Maybe you're handling your candle while thinking of Immanuel Kant. I don't know. Things are getting weird. But anyways, so in some ways, I guess it has held up. What do you folks think? I could use some questions. It's Question Friday and you're leaving me here. I'm dying. I've got the COVID. I've been crying, so my nose is all stuffy. Okay, let's see. We're going to find a different story. What do you guys think? For you folks on X, you can now find out on X the country of origin of the account that is posting. So the country of origin, the account that posts, you can now find out where they're posting from. And a lot of them are from other countries. And I mean, I don't mean to say other countries because it makes America the center of the world. What I'm saying is that there's people that they will often, Jenna Kleem asked a question on the website. I'll get to that in 1 second, Jenna. People comment on American politics. They comment as if they're nationalists, America pride, that sort of thing. They're not even freaking American. So that's good. Yeah, most MAGA people are not Americans. I get yelled at quite a bit from people that are not Americans. I'll comment on that in 1 second. Oh, wow, that was kind of rude. I did the big sniff and snort right in front of everybody. Yeah, whatever. What do I care? Okay, so Jenna Kleem asked what the difference is between being fortunate and being lucky. And the answer, Jenna, is I have no freaking idea. On the surface, I would say, fortunate sounds better than lucky, but then that just comes down to its antecedent is fortune. So I don't know that there's a real difference between the two. But I'd prefer to use fortunate if at all, but I generally don't care to use them. All right. Let's see. Now let me back up here. Can I comment on the recent flat tax versus progressive income tax debate? Look, the lower the taxes, the better. I don't really care about the structure. No tax is fair. You can't say it's fair when you're stealing people's money at the point of a gun, which is what they're doing. But any tax cut. So if you're going to cut taxes, do it. If it's going to stay progressive but be lower, do that. If it's going to be flat but lower, do that. If you're going to have a sales tax and that's going to be lower, do that. That's my take on it. Lower the taxes, keep lowering the taxes. And when you've lowered them too much, lower them some more, because there is no such thing as too much. Hello, what is the state of the Capitalist Party? Are there any plans to actually get involved in politics? Well, yes, we actually are involved in politics. We had a candidate run in Alabama. We are now getting some new, what's the word I'm looking for? Help me out, Persephone, some new chapters in different states. So that's some big news we've got coming up. So yeah, I mean, we're growing. It takes time. It's a brand new party. So that's what we're going to be doing. Diego, it's very funny to see Trump MAGA patriot be a Nigerian. Yes. Persephone says, according to Google, luck is generally considered to be random chance or external facts, while fortune can imply a greater degree. I lost it. A greater degree of personal control and intention. Okay, that's how I think of them too. But I don't know if that's actually the case. Is the Libertarian Party unfixable? Probably. It's the problem here, in my view. Yes, I did see that about Trump, but I didn't read enough about it to really comment on it, other than I think it's stupid. The problem here with political parties, and it's any political party, is you have to bring in a lot of people, but to bring in a lot of people, you have to water down the message oftentimes. Our goal is to not do this. The Libertarian Party is a very eclectic mix of, the Prags, the Rothbardians, the Hoppians, ANCAPs, minarchists, pro-IP, not pro-IP. And it just leads to a lot of schisms. So Handle Your Candle says we have to remain radical. By radical, he means anarcho-capitalism. Unfortunately for him, his particular group, let's just take a look at his particular group, right? His particular group is an eclectic mix of Ayn Rand, Murray Rothbard, Austrian economics, argumentation ethics. These things just don't mix. They don't integrate together. And they try to, and they think that they're doing a good job. They're not. I love those guys, but they're very, very wrong that these things can be integrated. You're ultimately trying to integrate an objectivist epistemology with transcendental rationalism, and it just doesn't work. The two don't combine. You're taking a conceptual view of rights that is stems from an objective view of ethics, and then trying to derive the non-aggression principle from a rationalistic argumentation ethic, or from this concept of self-ownership that is divorced from any antecedent morality. These things can't be integrated. The problem is when you have a party, I want to bring it back to the Libertarian Party and not just beat up on these kids. When you get back to the Libertarian Party, is they try to integrate all these things and then they end up arguing. And it makes it very difficult. What we're trying to do with the American Capitalist Party is have foundational principles that we stick to while bringing enough people into the tent to make it viable. It is a serious, serious challenge. Race Jacobson, you're right. They aren't recognizing the problems. The Austrian school was originally Aristotelian. Menger is an Aristotelian. Sure, I don't disagree with that, but and Rothbard is kind of he's going to make a video, handle your candle, on argumentation ethics. Argumentation ethics is pure garbage. Let me just say that for you. For anybody who doesn't know what it is, argumentation ethics is the idea that in the very act of arguing with somebody, you are assuming non-aggression. You're assuming some sort of self-ownership, so that to argue for aggression puts you in a performative contradiction. It's pure rationalist nonsense. How do we purge? So, but that's it. I can't get into it too much on this show, other than to say, if you look up argumentation ethics and you understand objectivist epistemology, even if you don't, you're going to see what's wrong with it. It's so ridiculous. For one example, I can argue for aggression against other people. And even if you say I'm assuming non-aggression by arguing with this guy, I'm only assuming it in the present context. I'm not assuming it any broader than this. I also might not give a damn about it at all. It's just entirely silly. Megan Ribbons. Megan Ribbons is in the audience. She makes videos on how to discover biology the way it was discovered, starting with Aristotle. Megan, my episode with Megan and Andy Bernstein about education is out already. You can go check it out. If OPAR today is on sense, perception, and volition, that's where integration lies, starting with the basics. Awesome, Bonnie Bertrand. Was there another question that I was supposed to? Yes. Let me just tell you, people, what Megan and Andy did to me. So I informed them that I was limited in my time. I couldn't stay too long. And they proceeded to ignore me altogether and just continue the conversation long after it was time for me to go. Oh my God. Handle your candle. There's nothing about AE that proves that aggression is unjustifiable. Nothing. The very most it could possibly prove is that the person arguing thinks it's unjustifiable. It doesn't even prove that, because I can argue that aggression is sometimes acceptable. But even that, saying aggression is not acceptable is a moral claim. There's no morality to back away from it. No, the moment I try to justify aggression, I don't contradict myself. That's Hoppe's claim. It's nonsensical. And even if I do contradict myself, who cares? So what? That doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. But the point of the matter is, I can argue that we need, in order to have a functioning society, we need to have taxation. There's no contradiction. I'm making an argument to a person that I'm not aggressing against. There's no contradiction. To think there's a contradiction is utterly ridiculous. It's based on asserting premises and then reasoning from unproven premises to a conclusion. Garbage. How do we purge the third worldist and anti-Western infiltration among the libertarian movement? Mises Institute, Libertarian Institute, Ron Paul Institute, etc. are all compromised. Hawkey one, what we do is study objectivism. What we do is have a rational epistemology and then a rational ethics. And from a rational ethics, we end up with rational politics. All right. We're going to get to the next story now. I don't want to talk about argumentation ethics anymore. It's so silly. I can't believe that anybody anywhere takes it seriously. Okay. I don't have any more. The only other interaction really that is noticeable is I told Dr. Peikoff the impact he had on me, the impact he's had on my friends. And I also was tell him that Man Sharma said hello and thank you so much. Ironheart says, on the topic of transgender, is the distinction that is made between gender identity and biological sex part of a mind-body dichotomy? I don't think so, but it may be. I haven't given this a real lot of thought. I'm not prepared to answer it right now. I don't even know if I'd be willing to give it the kind of thought that it would require. The issue just doesn't intrigue me that much. I have zero doubt in my mind that there are people who feel like they're born in the wrong body. They're born in the wrong sex. They still are the sex, whether they want to be so or not, even if they have a sex change. That doesn't mean they shouldn't be allowed to live their lives the way that they choose and be given respect as human beings. Let's see. This is an interesting article here from AEI by Yuval Levin on public discourse and gratitude. And he wrote a book I read a long time ago called The Great Debate. It was about liberals and conservatives, the origins of left and right. Who were they now? Oh, Edmund Burke and Thomas Paine. It was a very, very good book. So he says that we get, there's anger in politics, basically, is what he said. And he talks about how some people are angry because basically the world isn't as good as they think it should be, while others are angry because they feel like they're losing a pretty good world. And I think there's merit ultimately to both positions. And I'm not really doing his argument justice, but you can, I'll post the article. But conservatives are, the traditional Edmund Burke conservatives are right in a sense. Civilization is a hell of an accomplishment. You don't just throw it out because there's certain elements of it we don't like. These things take millennia to evolve and to come into being, and also took a lot of great minds, to contribute. And to say, well, we're not perfect. There's still this problem, and this problem. Well, the human condition is full of problems that need to be solved. On the other side, though, I don't think that stops us from hoping and wanting a better future and working to have it. But I don't think the conservatives would think that either. It's a difficult topic. I think I'm going to reach out to this guy and see if I can get him on my show, because it's a very interesting topic. In my head right now is just not very clear given the lack of the COVID. I still got the sort of brain fog. So I don't want to butcher it. Oh, this is a good one. There's an article here about the gold standard. And it's in, I should have shared that other article. I'm going to share the gold standard article right now to Facebook and X, and then I'll go back and share the other article when I'm done discussing this one. This gold standard article is from the American Institute for Economic Research. Very good article. So basically, what the gold standard is that the dollar or the monetary unit is pegged to a specific amount of gold, and you can exchange your paper money or your notes for actual gold if you so choose to. And the gold, the amount of currency in circulation, the amount of money circulating, is limited by the amount of gold there is. So this puts a check on governments. They can't print money in order to accomplish what they want. They can't print money to fund wars, to fund welfare programs, or to fund building projects or anything else that they might want to fund. It also helps facilitate international trade. There's fixed exchange rates that are based on the amount of gold, and people trust the money more because they all know it's based on gold. It's not going to be inflated by the domestic countries. It truly is the ideal for a capitalist system to have an international gold standard. Now, the criticisms of the gold standard are, there's emergencies. Chris Baker's here. When do you guys want me to talk about the amazing Javier Milei? He is changing the world. I don't know, Chris. I'll get back to you. and we'll figure that out. Maybe I'll have you on my show. Maybe I'll have you here. I don't know. Just hit me up and I'll let you know. It was suggested to me by somebody else that I have you on also. I don't know if you put them up to it. Maybe you did. But anyways, the gold standard, the critics say, during emergencies, you might need fast cash. You need to print cash. They also say that it restricts growth and leads to deflation. But really, what it leads to are lower prices, because when you have rapid production, you have more supply of the good and the monetary unit stays basically constant. So you have a drop in prices. It does not mean a drop in wealth or real wealth. So it'd be great if we could return to the gold standard. There are a lot of problems with it. If you tried to return to it right now, it would lead to massive dislocations in the economy, but still, if we can ever do it, I'd highly recommend it. Let's get back to that gold standard. All right. What are some more questions now? I need some more questions. We're 35 minutes in. Ask your questions, give your super chats, do the whole 9 yards, and we will absolutely love it. It's those dislocations would be worth it. Yeah, dude. That's easy to say, but when you end up with another Great Depression, you might not think it's so worth it. I'm feeling okay. Not great, but okay. I want to see the critics are wrong. The critics of what? Nixon did put the final nail in the gold standard. Oh, the critics. I ate his super chat. Did I? I didn't see it. Did you see his super chat, Persephone? What does that mean, to eat someone's super chat? I don't even know what that means. I don't know. I'm sorry if that happened. I only see one in here. Oh, wait. Oh, there it is. Thank you so much, Mike, for letting Dr. Peikoff know about my message. You're very welcome. I assure you I did not tell him that you go by Handle My Candle or whatever it is that you're going by. All right. All right. Let's see. Do I have anything else? William F. Buckley. William F. Buckley's 100th birthday. Interesting. It points out correctly how William F. Buckley, as the spearhead of the conservative movement in the mid 20th century, was one of the first people who really started to criticize the liberal agenda of academia, whatever it is. It works. I'm going to bring Persephone on. Persephone, say hello to everybody.
Hi. Good. You feel sick? I feel sick.
Well, I had an argument with Diana, and I was really mean because I'm in a really bad, or was in a really bad spot. I'm feeling really bad about that. I hate that. I hate when I let my anger get the best of me. It's something that I work on, and I'll be working on for the rest of my life. I try not to do that, but sometimes I get overwhelmed, and today was one of those days. What do you think about that, Persephone? Do you and your husband ever get very mad and say things to each other you wish you hadn't?
Of course. You're always, I don't know why it is, but you're always your worst self with the people that you are closest to. The people who you can be most honest with are the people that end up seeing the worst in you, because you don't feel so much like you have to hide. So I snap, like my husband snaps at me and I snap at him. Like 2 nights ago, I was feeling really overstimulated, and we were laying in bed together, and he had his elbow pressed up against me, and I said to him, if you don't move your elbow, I'm going to rip your arm off and beat you with it. And so he moved his elbow, and then I was like, I love you though. It happens. It does happen. But I mean, as long as you acknowledge that you're being a dick and you apologize and you try not to do it in
Yeah, but I
confidence,
was
okay.
mean. Like I said mean things.
I mean, try not to do that, but also it does happen, especially when you are sort of overwhelmed with your own emotions.
Thanks, Persephone. Handle Your Candle says, who's your second favorite philosopher after Ayn Rand? I don't know, maybe Aristotle. Do you mean original philosophers? I like certain philosophical writings. I enjoy some of the existentialist stuff. I enjoy some of the stoicism, some of the stuff I like. But Ayn Rand just has the complete system that I like, which I think is wonderful. There's essays that I like the philosopher Harry Frankfurt wrote a great essay called On Bullshit. That was good. Christopher Smith talks about John Locke. I really enjoy Locke on, obviously his second treatise on government was great. Frederick Bastiat's The Law.
Oh, I love that.
I'm trying to think who else do I like? Harry Frankfurt also wrote an essay on second order desires. I think that was a great essay. Aristotle, yeah, he's great. Let's
Also,
see.
Rock Chartrand has a question as well.
Oh, where's Rock? What's his question? Is it in here?
Do countries that are unapologetically pro-central planning have an advantage over those that are in denial about it?
I don't know. I don't know, Rock. I could think of arguments why both ways it might be, but that would be just speculation because I really don't know the answer to that question. He's fucking with you? Why does it say he's fucking with you here?
When he said you ate his super chat, he was fucking with you because he was just making a joke.
No, it was there.
Yeah, I know. I saw it. I saw it in the side. But I'm saying him saying that you ate it was fucking with you.
Oh, I'm trying to think about who else I think are good philosophers that I like. I like some Nietzsche. I mean, I don't love the guy. There's a lot wrong with him, certainly, but I like parts of Nietzsche.
I hate the way you pronounce that.
Why?
It's Nietzsche.
Oh, come on.
It's Friedrich Nietzsche.
It's not Friedrich?
The important part is that it's Nietzsche.
This guy says, Ironheart says Spinoza. Spinoza's one. I had his work in my cell in prison and never got around to it. Saji Guillaume, I liked. Maimonides was all right. There's some Jewish philosophers that I enjoyed reading. I enjoyed reading Plato. I don't like Plato's philosophy, but I enjoyed reading him.
Yeah. Does Trump have an advantage over other politicians because he's honest about being a dickhead and an authoritarian?
Trump is a dickhead, yeah.
Does he, what was the question? Does he have an advantage over other politicians because he's honest about being a dickhead?
I'm not a fan of Hume. One of the worst philosophers I've ever read. And not just because I disagreed with his philosophy, but because he's a horrible, horrible writer because he's German, and German translations are just forever. The sentences go on and on and on and on and on. Was Immanuel Kant. Thomas Reid, I've only read excerpts of Reid, Common Sense Philosophy. He's pretty good. Hume was British. So what?
Rock has another question. Which country is declining faster, America or China, and why?
Rock, I haven't got the slightest idea which one is going faster. You have great questions. The problem is they would require me to really do deep dives into. I did not say Hume was German. Nietzsche was German. Oh, Kant. Kant was German, is who I was talking about. There was another question that I don't remember. Zulu is the anti-Hume. Zulu is a rationalist. I'm sorry. I hate to break that to you. I know you hate it, but it's the truth. My voice is killing me. My throat, not killing me. It's just, I can feel it's like not, Ukraine. What do I think about the Ukraine deal? Hold on. Let me cough. I was supposed to hit mute. Didn't work out. My thoughts on the Ukraine deal are that I think the idea of what's his face there, Zelensky having to give up territory that he that Putin doesn't even have control of yet, I think is dumb. My view on Ukraine is that Putin is a villain. He's an absolute butcher. I think that they initiated a war against Ukraine that was unjust, and I think that the United States of America should stay out of it. That's my ultimate take on it. I know a lot of people here will probably differ with me on that, but whatever. I'm used to it. People differ with me quite frequently. Handle your candle. I've got a challenge for you. Take something that Zulu has written, submit it to ChatGPT, and ask ChatGPT, is the methodology employed here rationalism, empiricism, something else? And especially do his the take on law that I sent you the other day. Do that. Or you can just submit one of my debates, submit one of my debates with him and ask him what is the methodology?
What do you mean?
What do you mean stay out of it? Would it be to sell weapons to Ukraine? I'm not opposed to selling weapons. What I'm ultimately opposed to is taxation. And given that I'm opposed to taxation, I'm opposed to the American government taxing people and then taking that money and sending it to Ukraine, or buying weapons and sending them to Ukraine, or God forbid, sending soldiers to Ukraine. It's not just Ukraine that I would stay out of. I think that the government of America should be about defending the United States of America and not getting involved in everybody else's problems overseas. Handle your candle. Do this while we're on the line. I'm curious. But you say you're GB. I just started using Chat GPT the other day. I didn't even know I had access to it until a friend of mine told me. I find it far superior to Grok. I'm curious what other people think. I actually asked it to create, well, I didn't actually ask it. It did it for me to create a debate. It offered to create a debate between me and Hoppe, between me and Rothbard. It was very interesting that it did so.
Wait until you try Claude. Claude's also great.
Boyfriend of yours?
No, no, the AI from Anthropic. There's Gemini from Google. There's Grok from Twitter /X, whatever the hell Elon Musk's company is called. There's ChatGPT, and then there's Claude from Anthropic.
See, I've heard this, that he says that AI learns from your personal opinions and it just tells you what you agree with. Mine does not do that. I don't know if I've trained it to do that, but Grok argues with me.
Grok does argue far more than any of the other ones. You'll find that ChatGPT will be very sort of accommodating. Claude even more so. They'll go, "Yes, you're so right." So often.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Grok won't do that. Grok will tell you that you're a fucking idiot.
Grok goes sick on me, and argues and argues and argues and argues.
But they do learn from the way that you speak, and they learn from, if you like, you can actually ask your Grok like what he's learned about you. And once you've chatted to ChatGPT, you can ask ChatGPT, what kind of person do you think I am? and then based on all of your chats, they will give you quite a rundown.
That's very interesting. Do I have to pay for Claude? Because ChatGPT, I'm not paying for anything.
Most of them you can access for free, like in a limited fashion. And Claude, you can.
Claude will come up.
Hold on, let me just double check what the URL is. Yeah, it's claude.ai.
All right, let's see.
Claude is amazing for coding too. Yes, Claude is amazing for vibe coding.
Continue with Google. Tell me a question. What do you want me to ask it?
Claude?
It's the problem I have, Rock, with the question that you're asking is it when you're dealing with stuff like this, like when you do a science experiment, you're able to hold all things equal except for the variables that you want to measure. Here, we can't do that. So the Chinese economy and the American economy are not exactly the same. The level of government interference in the economy are not exactly the same. So I don't know the effects of the variable about centralization of the economy, how it's operating on both. And I really could not know. All right. I'm going to ask, they want profile pictures for me?
No. If they do, that's bullshit.
All right. No, it wants to create an account. I don't want to do all that right now.
But you don't need to create an account to do the free one.
You know, it does say create an account. I'm going to share that other story, by the way. The Yuval Levin story about gratitude. I'm going to share it to X right now.
Oh, Ray's asked a question that was related to AI, which was, do you think that Trump putting money into AI will accelerate the push to ban AI by the Democrats?
Ooh. I don't know.
I think that there's a lot of reasons that people are going to push to ban AI. And one of them is the death of being able to use videographic evidence. Because with the way that some of the AIs are capable of creating very realistic looking videos, I do think that's gonna have a very big impact on people wanting to ban AI.
If I had to guess, I would say anything that Trump is for is going to make the Democrats be against.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of donors involved, so I ultimately don't know. Okay. Persephone, I want you to give today's capitalist thought of the day.
I'm sick.
So am I. All right, I'll do it. But then you're going to ask the question.
Okay.
Capitalist thought of the day is, oh, wait. Have you ever heard of Nettie Stevens? No, I have not, Megan. What was I going to say now? Oh, capitalist thought of the day. Today marks 3 years that I have been free from prison. And though life has certainly had a lot of ups and downs in the 3 years I've been free, freedom trumps it all. I absolutely love being free. The American economy may not be as free as I would like it. The political, our laws may not have us as free, but I know what a real loss of freedom is, and we do still have much freedom. And for that, I am incredibly, incredibly grateful. And I just hope that most people don't ever have to really have their freedom taken away in order to appreciate it. And with that, I turn it over to the wonderful Persephone for a question.
Do you think that AI should be banned or made more difficult to access? AI video making tools, do you think that those should be banned or made incredibly difficult to access? That's my question for today.
Go to YouTube and please answer the question. And by the way, remember, we will be back Monday. We have nothing tomorrow, right, Persephone? But tomorrow we do have Self-Made Soul on Mark's Patreon, and that'll be 1 hour earlier, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 Pacific. Please check it out. You're going to love it. I love it. I love you. Thank you all for bearing with me while I'm sick and depressed. I will be better soon. I absolutely promise. Till then, check your premises. Peace.